Welcome to this explainer. If you're a university student just stepping onto campus, chances are you're managing your very own budget for the very first time. It's a hugely exciting milestone for sure, but it also comes with some pretty serious financial pitfalls. Well, what if I told you there's one simple rule that could save you thousands of dollars every single year? It takes just 24 hours to implement, and shockingly, almost nobody actually uses it. Okay, let's dive into this.
So I want you to be completely honest with yourself for just a second here. Have you ever bought something and almost immediately regretted it later? We've literally all experienced that sinking feeling. You get back to your dorm, or maybe the package arrives a few days later, and suddenly that initial thrill completely vanishes. You're just left staring at your dwindling bank account, wondering, what on earth was I thinking?
To really ground this concept, let's look at some of the classic everyday traps. Maybe it's buying a brand new phone when your current one works perfectly fine. Maybe it's a fresh pair of shoes just to wear around campus. Or maybe it's some fancy gadget that looked incredibly cool on TikTok, but now just sits completely untouched on your desk. These are exactly the types of everyday items that absolutely drain a student's limited funds. Now we need to shift our focus from that awful feeling of regret to actually identifying the behavior responsible for it. It's called impulse buying. Simply put, it's the act of making unplanned, emotionally driven purchases. Notice I said emotionally, because when you're super stressed out cramming for finals or totally hyped for a weekend event, your emotions are running high. And you know what? That is exactly when impulse buying strikes your budget the hardest. And what's truly staggering here is the sheer scale of this trap. Billions. Giant corporations are literally spending billions of dollars engineering sneaky ways to make you buy things emotionally. They study your habits, hit you with targeted ads, and they know exactly how to trigger a purchase. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it exposes the massive machinery working against you. As a student with newfound financial independence, you are stepping right into their crosshairs, and unfortunately, most people fall right for it. Sounds pretty intimidating, right? It feels like you're up against this massive, incredibly well-funded Goliath of a machine. But hold on, because here is the good news. You actually have a single, highly effective defense mechanism against this billion-dollar corporate manipulation. There is an ultimate shield, and the best part? It doesn't cost you a single cent to use. That ultimate defense mechanism comes down to just one magic number, 24. This is the 24-hour rule. It's hands down the absolute best solution to impulse buying, yet it's a tool that almost nobody is actively using to protect their money. I mean, it's so simple that it almost sounds too good to be true. But as we're about to see, the mechanics of it are incredibly powerful. Let's break down exactly how you execute this rule in your daily life. Step 1. You spot a non-essential item you want. Step 2. You force yourself to wait exactly 24 hours. Step 3. If you still want it tomorrow, you buy it. And this brilliantly illustrates how actionable and simple the framework is. You aren't telling yourself no forever. You're simply telling yourself, not right now.
But here's the crazy part. When you actually implement that pause, the urge disappears, and your money stays right there in your pocket. This is the surprisingly common, almost magical outcome of simply pausing for a single day. That intense, burning desire you felt in the store or looking at your phone, it just evaporates, leaving those precious funds safely in your student budget for things you actually need, like textbooks, food, or tuition.
Okay, let's move to and see how this builds from just a neat little money-saving hack into a massive core wealth-building philosophy. See, this isn't just a survival trick for university students trying to make it to the end of the semester. This is actually a fundamental secret, completely understood and used by the wealthy. There's a stark underlying difference at play here. Emotions spend money. Logic builds wealth. So the crucial point is that we absolutely must actively separate our feelings from our finances. When you let the thrill of the moment dictate your swiping, you're spending emotionally. But when you plan, pause, and evaluate, that is when you are building wealth logically. And that brings us right to the underlying psychology of the 24-hour rule. Think instead of react. By waiting just one single day, you literally give your brain the necessary time to shift gears. You transition from emotionally reacting to your environment to logically thinking about your financial goals. It forces the rational part of your brain to finally catch up with the emotional part, making sure every dollar you spend is an intentional choice rather than a manipulated reaction. That tiny, simple delay can save you thousands of dollars right now. So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on. If mastering this rule during your university years can save you thousands today, what could a 24-hour pause save you over the course of your entire lifetime? Just think about the massive wealth you can build simply by choosing to wait until tomorrow.